Creator of all that is, it is in gratitude that we stand. It is in our standing that we feel your hand. Our size is small, for we are one, but we are large, for we are not alone. Our heartbeats prove tirelessly of your love, and so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroom, and I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. On the back of our presentation cards, we have this. All power is inherent in the people when they form a social compact. Well, this is the update, bringing forth what we have to bring forth from the provisional government on Oregon. Article 1, Section 1. We have so many things going, I'm going to have to refer to notes and props and do this in pieces. We're in the aftermath of a grand jury that found presentments and true bills on 10 issues. That was a big bite. And those 10 issues, briefly, is we brought a case against the Oregon Department of Corrections for ignoring writs of habeas corpus and writs of mandamus. Then the second one was sheriffs and their oaths. And that's reached the point now of an arraignment and trial on the 21st at 10 o'clock in the morning on Salem in front of the Marion County Courthouse. We'll have a petite jury trial there. Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record. So that's number 2. Coming up, number 3 is the sheriffs again for wrongly supporting tax-driven state of Oregon foreclosures and evictions. I didn't know how horrible that whole thing was until I got into this. And Laura and Phil are our experts on that. If Laura wants to talk, she's anytime. But that's coming up. And the sheriffs are involved in that, not just the city and the state and the county and the tax foreclosure, the sheriffs again. Then we have smart meters, smart bulbs, smart appliance surveillance on Oregon in all of the counties. Number 5 is the state of Oregon. The state of Oregon came into existence after November 8th, 1910. So it is a color of law, fictitious state of Oregon, de facto, for-profit corporation. And that corporation is responsible for the death of Robert Lavoie Finicum. I'm not a favorite of that outfit. They did a lot of bad things. And Kate Brown and company permitted it, encouraged it. Anyhow, that's 5. Then there's 6. There is no evidence in our Constitution. There is Article 7 amended and Article 7 original on how the judiciary is supposed to operate. Amended is de facto, color of law. It was set up as part of the subdivision of the United States of Washington District of Columbia, Inc., in martial law labor code since 1861. And I saw a document one time, a letter written. It came from the Illinois State Bar 1906. And the Illinois State Bar 1906 sent out emissaries to all of the states to help the states set up a de facto subdivision of the United States, the Federal District of Columbia, Incorporated, the bogus one, not original jurisdiction. So, with intent, the bar of Illinois came out to Oregon, and they succeeded November 8th, 1910 on Oregon. They switched from de facto to de jure. It's all written down. Guys have traced it out. Milt Mitchek and others. We have the book, The Vultures. So anyhow, that's number 6. Number 7, Oregon's de jure statehood documents circa 1849. The government should be able to provide their bona fides to a court of record. And the state of Oregon, Secretary of State's office, and 2 of their deputy secretaries of state have been unable to provide Oregon's original statehood documents that will define what it is, not what is written. Which brings me to a prop. What is written? When I started going down this trail in 2014, in 2016, on the little document there in the corner, this is a printout from www.archives.gov. Exhibits, charters, prints, blah, 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 Constitution transcript. So I went to the best source that there is, the Constitution of the United States from the U.S. National Archives and Records Administration, as good as I could do. And what do they call them? They have a name. They worked there. The one that I dealt with from the beginning was Jane Fitzgerald, 202-357-5005. She may be retired by now. Very helpful lady. So when we look at this document that they're giving out, and you have to look at it, maybe catch a flash of that or something, it says here, Constitution of the United States, a transcript. So right there, we know that we're dealing with a bogus document. Then it says, note, the following text is a transcription of the Constitution as it was recorded by Jacob Chalice on parchment. The document on display in the rotunda at the National Archives Museum items that are hyperlinked and have been amended or suspended, the authenticated text of the Constitution can be found on the website of the Government Printing Office. So it starts out with "We the people of the United States," in order to form. So this is a pretend document because the preamble is not part of the Constitution. So then we come to Article 1 of the Constitution. And then we come to Article 2 of the Constitution. And then we come to Article 3 of the Constitution. That's us. That's our court. We are an Article 3 court. Now, the minute you say we're an Article 3 court, you have to identify the next thing, the Bill of Rights. Because the Bill of Rights says, Amendment 7, in suits in common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States, that's a specific place, than according to the rules of the common law. So Article 3 was amended by Amendment 7. So when you look at Article 3, what we have for an Article 3 is one in common law, Amendment 7, not in so we have an Article 3, Amendment 7, common law, civilian court of record. And we have had since June 2018. So then people say, oh, yeah, what evidence do you have of that? So we went to the trouble to do this. Does that read pretty clear? Looks all right to me. It's well made by one of the reputable badge companies. And mine says civilian court clerk, state of Oregon, with Oregon seal, and it's very attractive, looks good. And it's for the entire state, and it's the land and soil under God. That's our jurisdiction. Another part of our jurisdiction is Article 7 original. And I'll show you that one. There it is, Article 7 original. That's our jurisdiction. This jurisdiction, Article 7 amended, I hope you can see that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. That was placed in Oregon's Constitution illegitimately, illegally, by fraud and deceit. And it was placed there by bar attorneys, people that had been put in place and caused it to happen. The leader that we know of was Frank Benson, an attorney from California that came to Oregon and was elected as Secretary of State. That's a 4-year term. And then he ran for it and was reelected Secretary of State. And the man that was governor resigned. And so Benson became the governor. At the same time as Article 7 amended, November 8th, 1910, was declared passed and amendment into Oregon's Constitution. It was done. Then a guy named Milt Mitchell drove around, 1990s, drove around to all of the counties and visited with the county elections clerk and said, I'd like to see the results that you have on file for Article 7 amended November 8th, 1910. And there wasn't any. So since November 8th, 1910 to now, October 11th, 2024, 114 years of progressively more dictatorial, oh boy, how do you identify it? Bogus judiciary and bogus executive and bogus legislature on Oregon. They all agreed in some form to infringe upon our unalienable rights and make us their cash cow. We work for them. We provide their sustenance. They've got it now to where 50% of all of the employed population works for government in some form. They don't make a fucking thing, but we pay for it. Okay. Some of it has to be. It costs to govern. However, it has to be done properly and it has to be done according to all of these things that we know to be true that we have to adhere to. And the next one coming up is sheriffs. And sheriffs is coming up October 21st at 10 a.m. in Salem. And I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.